Now we'll talk about imagination, if you would please. It's one of the most beautiful of the angelic senses. And it's often confused. It's very underused, and it's often confused with mental imaging, with creating an image from the mind. Let me give you an example. If you would, and feel free to close your eyes if you'd like, get comfortable. Take a deep breath. There is a red convertible sports car parked in your driveway, parked outside of your apartment, wherever you live, and it's yours. It is sleek. It is very sporty and sexy. It's a convertible. So you go over to it, admiring the fine craftsmanship, admiring the shiny wheels, admiring the upholstered interior. Now you open the door, you get in, you turn the key, and you hear the rumble of the 400 horsepower engine under the hood. You put it into reverse, you back out, you now put it into the drive mode, and you start slowly driving down the street. You feel free, liberated. As you are driving down the street, people come out from their houses and apartments just to look and to admire. Children stop playing to gawk at you driving down the road in your little red sports car. And as you drive further, you get to the outskirts of the city, out onto the open road, and there's no other vehicles around. The road is yours. Perfect pavement. Nice curving roads. And you step on the gas. Start going a little faster. The wind is in your face and on your hair. It's a beautiful sunny day. You take a deep breath and let out a huge sigh of relief as you continue driving down the road in your red sports car. You pick up more speed, going faster and faster, and you feel a sense of exhilaration. No worries, no cares, just you. Zooming down the road. You don't have to worry about bills to pay, errands to take care of, or anything else. Just soaring down the road. Now stop for a moment. What's wrong with this picture? No feeling. No feeling. No feeling. Now, it's a nice picture, but it's relatively mental and therefore limited. And I know some of you have done mind control classes before. Back in Atlantis, too. And I'm done. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
I know some of you have done visualization, limited degree of success. It works a little bit, but it tends to be very limited because it lacks true feeling, and also because you really don't believe it. You go into the mirror and say, I am beautiful, I am beautiful, I'm beautiful. Well, you're reciting something, but in your heart, in your soul, you don't necessarily believe it. There's not the feeling. Imagination is feeling. Imagination is sensing, not thinking. A long time ago, humans really shut down the feeling. They got into thinking. But imagination is that open feeling. Imagination is not necessarily pictures, but an absolute sensory experience. So now let's do this again. Close your eyes, if you would. And instead of me guiding you down the road in your red convertible sports car, take a deep breath and feel yourself. Feel yourself. That is actually more, that is imagination rather than just visualizing. There's a feeling to it. There's an energy to it rather than just a focus on the mind. Now, yes, you can do visualization and have a degree of feeling in it, but I'd have to say that really bringing that essence to this reality it becomes more challenging. That the true imagination portion is left in the other realms. A long time ago, as angelic beings, when you first left home, you realized you had this sense of imagination. And you began working with it. And you, out of nothing, out of the void, you created reality. Because you imagined it. Imagining is, it can be said, is to view into or feel into all of the potentials, not just in the future, but the potentials of the past, the potentials of this present moment. It is not a mental exercise. Let me give you another example. I'm going to ask you to be with your imagination, not necessarily your mind. And now I'm going to ask you to imagine chaos. Imagine chaos. Let yourself expand to that dimension, a dimension of chaos. Take a deep breath. The reason why I asked you to go there is to help you understand again the difference between visualizing or what would be a mental activity versus imagining, which is a feeling experience. When I ask you to imagine chaos, the mind jumps in and tries to grab it, tries to do something with it. But actually, the mind has a very difficult time interpreting chaos, thinking about chaos. It's not programmed for chaos. It's programmed to try to make order out of things, which is one of the inherent problems of the mind. It's always trying to put order into things. So when you imagine chaos, the mind gets very confused, and actually it allows you to go into imagining. You can imagine chaos. Now, what was it? A feeling, lack of order, lack of human examples. It's just chaos. Now that is imagining. That is imagining. A couple of problems that humans encounter is they don't really understand the difference between visualizing and imagining. Imagining is wide open and free. It's a feeling rather than thought patterns. The other part of the problem is humans stop choosing. They stopped choosing. They created this belief system called, you call it fate or destiny. Like the path is already laid out in front of you, and you have a few choices, but not many. But you base it on things like astrology or past life karma or angelic groups that lay out your life in front of you, or worse yet, some elusive planning session that you had before you came to Earth, where, and this is an odd one, you You say that you had this planning session and you planned out all the events of your life, and then with a group of angels, and then forgot about it. Now, why would you do such a silly thing to yourself? Yes, there are certain desires, things you would like to experience in lifetime, but it's not meant as lessons or challenges. It's just potentials. And you know what? You can change those potentials anytime you want. How do you do it? You imagine into them. You then choose. Now, you don't have to get specific. You don't say, I want a red car in my driveway. Because imagination is much broader. It's a feeling. You don't have to get literal with it. Imagine, feel into the potentials that are right in front of you. The potentials in your life. Now, don't get so literal as to say you need $1 million and you need a big house. I'm asking you to feel into energy, consciousness. What feeling do you want to have? Here you are, a creator. You can choose the experiences that you want going forward. You don't have to get literal about it. What feels good? And I don't want to limit it by using words, but lack of a better way, feeling the potential of joy, potential of enlightenment. Oh, and by the way, you don't have to just choose one. How do you want your life to be going forward? So imagination is feeling into those potentials, expanding your consciousness, going very interdimensional. So take a deep breath and allow yourself to imagine. Imagine openly, freely, wildly.